If you're putting out content every week, it's amazing content, but you're still not gaining new listeners, I'm here to let you know that it may not be your content. It may be your title. It may be the show description. It may be missing a little something that will help your show be more discoverable, be more findable to your audience. And that's why today I am breaking down 3 common podcasting SEO mistakes that could be hurting your discoverability and what to do instead. All right. And this is something that I learned within actually the past couple of years. And then I went to a podcast conference and I went through a session and it was talking about podcasting SEO. Now, I know a little bit about SEO because of my digital marketing past days, but didn't really put it into play when it comes to podcasting. I was like, okay, maybe, but because Apple Podcasts is not technically an algorithm, it's a search engine, but not an algorithm. I was like, okay, well, maybe these keywords really don't matter. But I'm here to let you know that it does. Okay. And I've been doing some digging and research myself, and I'm here to let you know that your title does matter. So let's start with the obvious one. Okay. Let's go with mistake number 1, a vague podcast name. All right. If your podcast is something along the lines of The Growth Show or The Sarah Jones Show or Level Up, I'm here to let you know that you're making it hard for your people to know what the podcast is about. That title, those titles could be anything related to business or fitness or mindset. No one knows, right? The titles are too vague. So it's important for you to, number 1, add clarity and context to your title. That's how you fix this. Try something like growth strategies for online coaches. Let's see, entrepreneurship for Gen X, entrepreneurship for stay-at-home moms. It's very specific. There's a keyword and it gives you specifically who it's for. Okay. Now we know exactly who it's for and what it's about, and that will make your podcast a lot more findable. So again, your title of your show does matter, my friends. All right. So let's dig into mistake number 2. Here's something I see with my clients all the time in overcomplicating it with big words and stuffing keywords like 2025 or something like that. Just words that really are irrelevant. Titles like maximize optimization frameworks for entrepreneurs. I'm like, bro, you got to chill with that. Like, it's way too many words. And listen, me being a wordsmith that I am, I have been guilty of this, all right? Of making sure that I add all the words that make sense to me, but maybe not going to make sense to my target audience. So it's important for you to use clear, simple, human language that anyone can understand, that your target audience can understand. So think about your ideal listener and then think about what they would actually type into the search bar. One of the things that, like I mentioned earlier, that the Apple Podcast is a search engine. So people will put keywords that are related to what they want to learn. So again, you want to make sure that you position your podcast and use simple words that they would search for. Okay, so be searchable, not confusing or too clever or overly creative, or don't be too cute. Okay, let's get right to it. Be clear, simple, and be findable. All right. Okay. And last but not least, mistake number 3, weak in missing subtitle descriptions. Okay. Your subtitle is the X factor. I believe that subtitle is prime time, prime real estate for your podcast. Most podcasters skip over it, or again, make it too fluffy, make it too wordy, where it still doesn't clearly let the listener know what the show's about. So here's an example of what not to do. Okay. A podcast about growth in mindset. All right, let me repeat that. Just a subtitle, a podcast about growth and mindset. Okay. What? It's still too vague. What are you talking about? Oh, but it says growth and mindset, man. I think it's good enough. No, it's not. Okay. It's still too vague, too wordy, way too many words. So try to keep it simple. You can fix this by basically, once again, telling people who it's for and what they're going to get. As I was saying with the example before, it's for Gen Xers. It's entrepreneurship, a podcast for Gen X entrepreneurs building content-driven brands. Okay, podcast for target audience, Specifically, what is it about? It's for Gen Xers specifically who are building content driven brands. Clear as day. Okay. Be specific, make it searchable, and make it speak directly to your people. All right. So let's do a recap. Number one is, get specific with your podcast name. Number two, speak like a real human, not a keyword AI robot. Okay, keep it real, my friend. People want realness. And then number three, use your subtitle and description to help people, right people, find your podcast. All right, that's it. Those are the three common mistakes. Those are some tweaks that I believe that if you go ahead and look at your podcast and go down the checklist and some of the mistakes of what I shared with you, hit rewind, listen to this again, watch this on YouTube, and take notes and do a checklist and see, do I have this? Okay. And if you don't, those are some tweaks that can really help your podcast grow and gain new listenerships. And then you can report back to me and say how amazing this tip was. And thank you, Ozil, that you're the best podcast coach ever. You could do that. You could do that. You can come back to this video or hit me up on social at The Real Ozil. All right. So if you, of course, are a podcaster and you want to be more discoverable and you need a little bit more one-on-one coaching, feel free to reach out. I'll make sure that I link it up in the show notes. We can book a podcast clarity call. It's a free 15-minute call. We can jump on a call and we can talk a little bit about your goals, your vision for the podcast. And of course, if there's a fit for me to help you, I will help you. All right. So make it simple. I'm trying to keep it simple for y'all. Okay. I'm trying to eat my own dog food here. Okay. I'm going to keep it simple. So that's it. Thanks again. If you are watching this on YouTube, one of the things that I want to do, and I've shared this before, is I want to be a lot more consistent on YouTube. I want to create more content on YouTube. So if you're listening to this, head over to YouTube and check out the podcast there. Just look up at Ozil, and you can listen and watch this podcast on there. But if you are audio only, I'm an audio guy. I totally get it. You can continue listening to my voice in your earbuds every Wednesday with a brand new episode. So thanks again for supporting Creator Factor. I appreciate it. I got a new interview coming up, hopefully next week. And I have a lot more things that I want to share with you on this podcast platform. So thanks again for checking that out. Until next time, peace and one love.